Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Dior, and this is Arkham Horror the card game, doing the Dunwitch Legacy with Zoe Samaras and Agatha Crane. This will be my third attempt to try to run this. Unfortunately, this one has a lot of things where you can just mess up rules. My first run, I screwed up the scripting because I did all the randomization myself, which breaks the helper. But also, I kept forgetting about the -1 willpower that's at Wildly Ruins. And then, in a rush to try to just get it done, when I restarted, I completely forgot to draw weaknesses, so I went through majority of it without the extra weakness you're supposed to draw. So it's been a couple of days and slightly more refreshed, or at least it's not the middle of the night this time. So we're gonna try this again. All right, so we're going to go ahead and warn the townfolk. I honestly don't know if it actually makes a difference. As part of the setup, we have only one name listed under sacrifices, so we're going to have a Brood of Yog-Sothoth. We're going to start with two broods, one in Cold Spring Glen and the other one in Blasted Heath. I will say, playing this without cheese is definitely rough. We don't have the usual tricks that we have, like String of Curses or Whispers of Doom. It's a lot of issues. Like, a lot of these like traps and stuff require you to get the monster to that location, which you don't really have that much control over in most cases, with a few exceptions. Those exceptions, of course, are which version of each location you have, which can make things just difficult for no reason. Like, for example, Cold Spring Glen could potentially, one of the versions has 0 clues on it, so you can't even get clues from it. And you do need clues in the beginning, so it's just, it could be as easy as, clearing out Dunwitch Village and then getting something from 10 Acre Meadow, but you could also start with Dunwich Village only having 1 clue on it or something like that, in which case you're like, all right, I have to go find clues somewhere else. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and click Setup. All right, all set there. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this once just because I can. I don't think it breaks anything. All right, and then the other 3 broods are going to be set aside. We could potentially get all 5. Most likely we will. Skulls are -1 for each brood of Yog-Sothoth in play. Cultists reveal another token. If you fail, you take 1 horror. Tablet would be 0, and otherwise, or becomes -4 if you refuse to remove clues from a brood of Yog-Sothoth in play. And then the Elder thing is -3, and if this is revealed during an attack or evasion attempt against a Brood of Yog-Sothoth, it immediately attacks you. Thankfully, we don't have either of those tokens. We only have Skulls and Cultist. I'll shuffle the encounter deck, and before I freaking forget again, let's do the Madness, Injury, and Pact weaknesses. Oh, also, we do start out with the Powder of Ibghazi, and it's going to start with 4 clues on it. I'm going to set it aside for now, just so it's not on the board, because if it is, it gets read in as clues. Though I am kind of curious, you might be able, like, as per the rules for Kate, you could I guess you could technically use the clues on this as using it to get the resolution for this for the act, but I don't think that's a good trade-off. All right, Magnus. It was what? Madness, Pact, and Injury. Yeah, Madness, Injury, Pact. So we can put the pipes here, Injury, and Pact. All right, first one. Kleptomania. And then the other one. Dark Pact. So Kleptomania was actually one of the ones I got on my first attempt at running this. It is kind of annoying. And then Dark Pact. This one's also annoying. Yeah, that's actually really annoying. All right. Not much I can do about it either. All right, shuffle the deck. We'll go ahead and read this. 3 agendas. The rampaging creatures, reports of terrifying entities wreaking havoc across the countryside have caused the citizens of Dunwich to panic. Worse, the creatures seem to be invisible to the naked eye. At the end of the enemy phase, move each brood of Yog-Sothoth enemy once towards a random location. As far as I know, they do this even when they are exhausted. 5 doomed to advance. Saracenic script. There are 2 acts. The monsters tearing through Dunwich County are immune to traditional weapons. Only by reciting a particular incantation can the creatures be defeated. First, you must search the ruins of Wilbur Whatley's home in order to find the final sections of the otherworldly script. Only investigators at Whatley Ruins may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. 4 clues to advance. All right, shuffle and draw. All right, an automatic and a Dr. Francis and a second wind. Okay, not terrible. It'll cost 3, 6, 8 to get all the everything out. So that might be the play. Also, it seems like my stand togethers are just gone. They don't exist anymore. All right, deal to orange. I did forget to do this. All right, no weaknesses. We do have Drawn to the Flame and a deduction. I don't really care about Earl Sawyer. But you know what? That +1 foot might actually be useful. Let's tag out the guts, tag out the other thing. Okay, well, I definitely don't need Earl Sawyer now. Okay. Shuffling, 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 flip. Okay, we got the one with 3 clues. That's good. That makes quite the difference. It only has 2 shroud, too. All right. Let's start with Zoe. All right, Zoe is going to, let's see, 3, 6, 8. So there's actually no way for me to get everything out at once. That is unfortunate. I can at least get the duo, this duo out. All right, I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to draw a card. And then I will do Ever Vigilant. I will spend 2 to get Dr. Francis Morgan out. I will spend 3 to get the Beat Cop out. And then over here, I can spend 1 to go ahead and get Oliver McBride out, because I'd rather have her out than anything else. All right, unfortunately, it's going to waste that last one, but there's not much I can do about it. Okay, that is everything for her. All right, Agatha. So we just need to get all the clues and get over there somehow. So deduction would put us at 6 to 2. I could do a shortcut along the way. All right, let's go ahead and investigate. We'll commit a deduction and use Olive Bride. Okay, I'll take the +1, -1. That'll mean I pass by 4, so I do get all 3 clues here. Okay. Next, I'll shortcut over to here. All right, I could try to get 1 clue here while I'm here. But 4 to 3 right now. It's either that or I move over 1 more space and just take what's here. Because I'm pretty sure there's multiple clues at Whatley Ruins. Yeah, I'll do that. We'll move over. All right, hello, -1 willpower. All right, 4 clues at this location. I'll go ahead and spend my last action doing Drawn to the Flame. Far this location from me. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, we're going to put you up here. Which unfortunately is going to make this thing hit me. Oh well. If it happens, it happens. Okie dokie. So at the end, oh, I also get the 2 clues here. And then I could spend 4 of those clues to go ahead and advance. Obtaining the formula, we do have Armitage. Armitage sighs a breath of relief, jotting down the last phrases of the formula. I have translated the last of it. He shudders as he hands you the script, the words conjuring forth memories of his battle with the creature. I hope this is the last time I'll have to read it, he admits. But if we do nothing, the end result will be much, much worse. Each investigator puts into play one set-aside esoteric formula. Okay. Here's our esoteric formulas. Now we can put it up here, that's fine. Okay, and then at this point I can go ahead and put this back over here. All right, they must be destroyed with the formula in hand. You finally have the means to destroy the creatures wreaking havoc in Dunwitch, but only if you can survive long enough. All right, and same thing as before. Defeat as many brooded Yogg-Sothoth enemies as you can. If there are no copies left in play or set aside, we do advance. Okay. The only time I've ever gotten all of them was when I had, like, you know, multiple mystics and using instant death effects. All right. At the end of our turn, I will go ahead and use my ability and do Drawn to the Flame again to get 2 more clues. All right. I will get hit with by you. That is unfortunate. I was not expecting to draw every single enemy in existence, but apparently that is what happened. Enemy phase. This guy comes down, says hello to me, gain a resource. I will take a damage and a horror. All right, and then over here I'll take a damage and a horror. And then at the end of the enemy phase, we do move the broods. You go here, you go here. Okay. Investigation phase, upkeep first. Oh, there's my stand together. Upkeep, Spectral Shield, Mythos, First Doom. Doesn't have voices, so I can't even get an asset out. Good. Oh, and another Avian Thrall. Holy crap. Okay. This is a little ridiculous. All right. Investigation phase. I will start with Zoe. Oh, you know what? I should have done this earlier. As a lightning bolt, I would have done a damage to do a damage here. And then now it's this turn. And I will do it again. There you go, damages. Because I didn't use it during the previous round, so I could do it during a lightning bolt during that. Okay. Anyway, with all that said and done, let's try to punch this thing. I can go 6 to 4. Actually, I'll start with, I guess it doesn't matter who I'd start with. This thing has 4 health, goddamn. One second. All right, sorry about that. A fly was buzzing around, and I wanted to murder it for XP. Okay, yeah, I'm going to start with Agatha first, though I still get the lightning bolts I can use with the Beat Cop. So we need to somehow get away from both of these things, and unfortunately I don't really have any options for that. I'll start by evading one of the thralls. I'll commit an Earl Sawyer and go 5 to 3. Okay, that's 1. I'm then going to go ahead and try to evade 3 to 0 using Olive McBride. I'll cancel the Cultist and take the Elder Sign and the 0, which is enough to evade this thing, thank God. Okay. Then I'm going to move down to here just to see what this one's about. Okay, this is the one where it reduces evade. Other than that, it doesn't really help. Okay. And then at the end of her turn, I will go ahead and use my Seeker reaction to do shortcut and rendezvous here. Okay, now Zoe's turn. Okay, cool. So we can punch this thing 6-4. We kill it. I'll draw a card. Then I can't play events because this thing. All right, cool. Yeah, I literally can't do anything this round. We'll just take this opportunity to just gain a bunch of resources. I'll get us ready for next round. All right, enemy phase. These guys are exhausted. Move the broods. You stay in place, and you're going this way. Okay. That might be okay. These guys will unexhaust. We'll need to deal with them eventually, but for now we're okay. Discard this. Upkeep. Zoe's Cross. Upkeep. Fingerprint Kit. Mythos. Second Doom. Alright. Attach to a Broody Yogg-Sothoth enemy in play. If that enemy is at your location, take 1 damage. Good times. For now, I'm going to go ahead and just put it on the furthest away one. We'll just stack a bunch of crap on him. Which is probably a good thing. I was tempted to just try to put them on the one that's here. I guess putting it on the one that's here is doable. The problem is if once I kill it, these go into the discard, and then this is going to get all reshuffled anyway. So I might as well keep them on something and not worry about it. Okay, investigation phase. So 6 fight. And we have to somehow exhaust this thing. That's the problem, the exhausting part. Let's start with Zoe. And unfortunately, we're going to have to be a little drastic here. I want to go ahead and attempt to evade. I'm going to commit custom modifications, task force, and Agatha will commit a spectral shield. That'll put us at 5-3. Please work. Okay, we do succeed. It is now evaded. Okay. As a lightning bolt, we'll put 2 clues on this guy. I'll go ahead and do stand together right now. Gain 2 resources, draw 2 cards. Gain 2 resources, draw 2 cards. And then we're going to go ahead and fight this while we're here. So during the lightning bolt, during the fights, we'll apply the clues here. Every clue will give us +2 willpower, so we're 8-6. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, 1 damage. Okay, Agatha goes next. We'll go 8-6. All right, I'll go 8-6. Okay, and 8-6. Okay, that was enough to at least kill it. 1 down. All right. Enemy phase. They are coming. Move the broods. Upkeep. Here's our Smite the Wicked. a whippoorwill farthest location. I'll put you over here. Okay, Spectral Shield. Mythos. Third Doom. Put into your threat area, you cannot play ally assets. Treat the printed text box of each ally asset you control as if they were blank. At the end of your turn, you have to do a willpower check. Okay. Eager for Death. This will be a 4-3 test. If I fail, I take Horror. Sure. We passed. Alright, investigation phase. So we got a bunch of avian thralls coming our way. And not much we can do about them. First action, I'm going to spend 1 to do a second win. Heal 2 damage, draw a card. That is actually terrible. I'm going to go ahead and move up to here. Is this the one that's going to hurt me? Nope. 4 Shroud, 3 clues. This is the one where it'll put up to 2 clues and do things. Cool. Last action, I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 to get out a Zoe's Cross. And then at the end of her turn, I will go ahead and resolve Unhallowed Country. So right now I'm 3-3. We'll go 6-3 with Steadfast. Okay, stats go back up. All right, and then over here with Agatha, we'll spend 1 action moving. This is in the threat area, so I will spend 2 actions to go ahead and get rid of that Haunted for her. Cool. Enemy phase. They coming. These guys are coming. Move the broods. We're going around in a circle. Upkeep. That is useful. All right. 4th Doom. Rotting Remains. I'm 4-3. We pass. If there's no investigation of the same location as a Brood of Yog-Sothoth, so it surges. Rotting Remains. We're 4-3. Oh, wow. That is impressive. All right, we're taking 4 horror. That is awesome. What a combo. All right. Investigation phase. We have shit to do. I'm going to go ahead and engage the Whippoorwill. I'll gain a resource to use it to do 1 damage to this thing and kill it. Since I killed a monster, I'll go ahead and do Dr. Francis Morgan. Draw a card. I will then spend 1 to get out the wolf mask. Get that up and running. And then I'm going to spend 2 to get out Brannick Thugga. No, I'm not going to do Brannick Thugga yet. As much as I would like to. I will keep moving. Devil's Hop, what's it got? Same thing, place a bunch of clues down. Got it. All right, so Agatha. I will spend 4 to go ahead and get out Fingerprint Kit. I will investigate with said Fingerprint Kit. Yeah, I'll investigate with said Fingerprint Kit. That puts me at 5-4. I'll commit a unconventional method to go 7-4. And I'll use Alec McBride. Okay, I'll take the -1s. I pass. I get 2 clues. And then I will spend 2 to go ahead and get out Artistic Inspiration. I'm going to go ahead and move over to here. Enemy phase, we're being chased. Broods are 1, 2. It's going to be this way to there. Okay, upkeep. All right, stand togethers. Ocular, yeah, cool. We got stuff. All right, we do advance. All right, shuffling encounter discard. So first, I guess, read this. Calamity strikes. An old pickup truck rolls to a stop along the weathered trails of Dunwich. The driver, Joe Osborne, calls out to you with through a shattered driver's side window. The truck's engine still running. It's over at Eric's farm, he shouts. Done blasted their place apart. Poor Henry and Martha. You ask Osborne for the location of the Eric's homestead, and it confirms your worst fear. For that attack to have occurred recently, there must be more of the monsters on the loose. Shuffle the discard pile back into the deck. And then Blasted Heath. We got Brood there. Okay. As much as I would love to fight them, I don't have time. Choose an abomination enemy and heal all damage and attach this to it. Okay. I'll put it on the Brooded Yogg-Sothoth, that's fine. Surges. Frozen Fear. Alright. Enemy phase. Or not, sorry, enemy phase. Investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and do Stand Together. Gain 2 resources, draw 2 cards. Gain 2 resources, draw 2 cards. I will spend... I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 on a Lugger and 2 on a Brannikathuka. All right, Agatha. Who do you go after, by the way? Lowest book? Cool. All right. This location has 1 shroud. All right, I'm going to investigate using Fingerprint Kit, and I'll use Olive Bride. Okay. I'll just take what it is. I'll take this. It's fine. Oh, actually, I should have gotten out the Ocular Obscura first. Oh, well. I'll take the -2 and +1. Yeah, that'll be the plan. Get 2 clues here. At this point, we probably have more enough clues to do whatever we need for this. I'll go ahead and spend 3 to get out Ocular Obscura. I'm going to go ahead and fast out a Spectral Shield, which I'm going to put on Zoe. And then I'm going to draw a card. And then I'm going to Cryptic Research. Okay, and then at the end, and then I'll fast out a Magnifying Glass. And then at the end of her turn, I'll first do this. I'm 4 to 3 right now. I'll commit I'll do 4 to 3. I will spend this to pass, because there are 2 broods out right now. Okay. And then also at the end of my turn, I will go ahead and, since I did cancel ignore cards, I'll go ahead and use the Cryptic Research again. Okay. So we got all that for us. All right, that is everybody. Goes to enemy phase. We're going to get set high by these guys, get engaged by both. All right, gain 2 resources. I'll spend 1 to do 1 damage to one of them. And then I'm going to get hit for 1 and 1 from each of them. These are 2 different sources, so Spectral Shield's going to proc twice. I'm going to have them soak the horror. And then 2 damage will go here. Also, after the Hunter move, I'll actually do a Lugger. Oh, actually, let's rewind real quick. So, remember, it's Hunter move, and then you resolve the attacks. I'm going to go ahead as a Lightning Bolt to use the Lugger. So that's going to put me at 7 to, this is a firearm, so it's 7 to 2. And I'm going to commit 2 Vicious Blows on this one. Okay, 3 damage. That kills this one. Alright, then I'm just going to get hit for 1 and 1 here. So I'll Spectral Shield one of the horror and take the damage. Also, I'll Dr. Francis Morgan a card. Okay, not bad. And then the Broods move. Okay, he's moving that way. You're moving this way. Upkeep. And upkeep. I do have to discard a card. I'll discard a Burning the Midnight Oil. Actually, yeah, I'll discard a Burning the Midnight Oil. That's fine. Okay. Mythos, First Doom. Also, I don't think I read this. Biding this time. Once in a while, a wind sweeping up out of Cold Spring Glen would bring a touch of effable foretour to the heavy night air, but the looked for terror did not appear. Whatever was down there in the glen was biding its time, and Armitage told his colleagues it would be suicidal to try to attack it in the dark. I probably agree. Okay. Frozen in Fear, annoying. Eager for Death. I have 1 damage, so it's 4 to 3. I'll commit an Olive McBride. Okay, we passed, barely. Okay. Enemy phase. Or investigation phase. Not sure why I keep saying it like that. Alright. We need to deal with the Avian Thrall. Which Agatha can actually help out with. So that's good. Okay. I can hit this thing a couple of times. I'll spend 2 actions attacking, because Frozen in Fear. And I'll attack with the Ranikathuga. This will put us at 7 to 2, because it's a spell. We pass, I'll spend 2 charges to do 2 damage. I'll do it again, 7 to 2. Do 1 damage with 1 charge. And then I will use a Lugger and kill it. And then draw a card. Alright. And then at the end of her turn, I would go 4 to 3. I'll go 5 to 3 with Safeguard. And pass. Cool. Alright, we've cleared the board a little bit. Agatha, I'm going to go ahead and shortcut Zoe down here. I will go ahead and spend 2 to do Working a Hunch. And grab this clue here. I'll go ahead and move down. I'll go ahead and investigate using... Oh yeah, I could have stocked something on this. Oh well. I'll do Burning the Midnight Oil, gain 2 resources, and investigate this location. I am 4 to 3. 5 to 3, sorry. Magnifying Glass. I'll go ahead and use Olive McBride. Alright, I do fail the check. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 to go ahead and get out Eyes of the Dreamer. And then at the end of my turn, I'm going to go ahead and do this Burning the Midnight Oil again. 5 to 3. Okay, we pass this time. I'll put the -1 on this. Oh, there are no clues on this. Well, I still passed regardless. I'm not going to rewind. I'll just keep it as is. I thought I got mixed up here with the clues. Either way, it still got me resources, and that's still better than just doing a plain resource action. Enemy phase, there are no enemies on the board besides broods. Okay, one going this way. One going down here. Okay. Okay. Upkeep. Kleptomania. That's going to be annoying. I mean, you could soak it for a little while. Seeking Answers. Mythos. Second Doom. Attached to your location. We're not going to stay here, so it's fine. Each brood of the Yogg-Sothoth enemy moves towards you. Okay, never mind. We're doing something here. Oh, 1 second. Okay. I was just double checking to see if I missed anything with the -1 willpower. I think I'm okay. I'm not doing this again. Surges. Spawn a set-aside brood of Yogg-Sothoth. Alright. Well, random location. It's going to Devil Hop Yard. Alright, so skulls are -3 right now, which is not a good situation to be in. I could have warded some of this stuff, but honestly, I kind of want the enemies over here at this point. Alright, investigation phase. We need to deal with at least... We need to deal with some of these guys. We do each take 1 horror because it did move into our location. This will get soaked here. And I'll take 1 horror. Okay. So how do I want to do this? I think we want to evade one of them and kind of just go from there. So this guy has currently 8 fight. We can put 3 clues on him, which would make it so in other locations we will be 10 to 8. So I'm going to go ahead and do the lightning bolt here. I'm going to put a horror on to represent I did it. This will be kind of preparing for the future. Like so. Okay. And then I am going to go ahead and spend 2 of these. Oops, sorry. I will spend 2 of these to go ahead and go on this guy. Alright. And then I'm going to start punching. Do we have a shortcut still in here? Yes, we do. Okay, we can make things happen. All right, so right now I am -1 willpower and then +2 for this, or +4 for this. So 7 to 6 right now. So 7 to 6 for the first one. I'll use Ocular Obscura because I have to resolve it, which means I pass, and I do 1 damage. Okay. Next, I'm going to attack and commit a Guts. This will put us at 9 to 6. I will use Arkham Bride. Okay, I'll take the +1 and 0. And I will, since this is a new phase, I'll seal the +1 and do another damage. And draw a card. And then I will do it 1 more time, resolving that +1. Which means I pretty much pass and I kill it. Do that. And this gets discarded. Okay, skulls are back to something more manageable. Alright. And then at the end of the turn, I'll go ahead and do this. And shortcut away. Alright. Okay. Now, Zoe, unfortunately, you're not in the best situation. I can go. I'm going to try to evade. 4 to 3. 5 to 3. Okay, it's only -2 because there's only 2 brutes now. Okay, first action done. Second action, I'm just going to move to here. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend 4 to replace my beat cop with a fresh one. And then I'm going to take 1 horror from this, which will get soaked by the Spectral Shield, and take a charge from Brandon Kathaga. Okay. Not terrible. Okay, enemy phase. They do move. One goes here, and this one moves over here. I won't complain. I could, but I'm not. Upkeep. Okay, this stays in my hand. Okay, yeah, it's an event I have to play. Okay. Mythos, third doom. That is spicy. All right. Okay, I'm kind of okay with having this for now. All right, investigation phase. So this thing now has 9 fight, and we're fighting at 10. Oh, and he has 6 health, so I have to hit with every attack. Because of course. All right, I will start with Zoe as a lightning bolt. I can put a clue from the token bank onto an aberration enemy on this location. Okay, so that's my lightning bolt. And then I'm going to proceed to swing at this thing as hard as I can. All right, so I'm currently 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm 12 to 9. Good luck. Okay, we did 3 damage in total. And then at the end of a turn, I didn't take anything, so I'm going to take 1 horror, which will get soaked by the Spectral Shield and then get discarded because I don't have any charges left. Okay, Agatha. Good luck. All right. I'm going to go ahead and go 12 to 9. Yeah, 12 to 9, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, we pass. I'm not going to seal this one. The main reason why I'm not sealing it is because I need to guarantee the last one. So I'll do it again, 12 to 9. Okay, I am sealing that one. All right, and then I will resolve that -2. Oop, I already sealed. There we go, resolve. Okay. So with that, I do, that should be all the damage. Yeah, these things have 3 health base, and each of these gave +1 health. It was 9 fight. There are 4 clues on it, so I'm literally 12 to, yeah, so I did not fail. Cool, we kill this thing. And all of this. Oop, put that back on this. All right. At the end of our turn, I don't think there's anything I care about putting on here. I'll do a Burning the Midnight Oil, just because I can. This will get me 2 resources, and I'll be investigating 5 to 3. Then, alright, it is what it is. Okay. So I believe you can't voluntarily discard a basic weakness from your hand. Fairly certain that's how it works. Alright, enemy phase. Only one of these guys again. Moving back over here. That is actually kind of good. Because all we have to do is now go over there and hopefully evade it. Alright, upkeep. Another Lugger. Mythos. 4th Doom. Rotting Remains. I'm 4 to 3. I will take 3 horror. That is painful. A Whippoorwill. Alright. Oh, I need to resolve this on Hello Country. 4 to 3. I fail, and I'll take 1 horror. That is actually pretty bad. Actually, I will kill off Olive Bride. She did her job. Alright. Investigation phase. Let's start with Agatha. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 to grab a clue here. Don't think it matters. Alright, we're going to move twice. All the way over to here. I will lightning bolts move 2 of my clues over onto this thing. I'll note that we've used this. And then last action, I'm going to try to evade it. We are 3 to 3. I'll go 5 to 3. Oh my god. Okay. I will seal that +1. Okay. At the end of my turn, do I have anything I really want to play? No, not really. At this point, there are no clues left on the board. Alright, so he's evaded, so we're good on that front. Alright, Zoe. I'm going to move twice to get to here. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 to get out something worth fighting for. And oh, sorry, at the end of her turn, I'll resolve this +1, by the way, to auto-pass this. There you go. Alright, enemy phase, this will move over. Brood is going to move over this way. Upkeep. Oh, also I take a horror, which I will put on something worth fighting for. Fifth Doom. There are no... Okay, well, this is going to go on to you, unfortunately. Luckily, I didn't do any damage to it. Ah, I can spawn another one of these. One's going to spawn regardless. So... Sure. We'll shuffle. You go to Blasted Heath. Oh, good. Now we have both of them. Okay. Alright. So we've gotten all the broods out. That's the good news. Bad news is everything else. Alright. Well, I would like to try to deal with this guy. So you can invade at 5. All right. We're going to go ahead and move in. We're going to take a horror from the Altered Beast. I'm going to attempt to evade the other one. I will use an offering and commit a automatic 5 to 3. He is evaded. And then I'm going to punch this thing. It has 2 clues on him, so I'm going 8 to 6. Good luck. Alright, that's only -2, so we do 1 damage. And then I take 1 horror. Which I'll have it soak it on this. Okay. Actually, no. At this point, just kill off Dr. Francis Morgan. Alright. Agatha. Move on over. We'll take a horror, which I'm actually going to go ahead and have something worth fighting for take it. And then I'm going to swing at this thing. We'll go 8 to 6. Good luck. That's a pass, but not the pass I was looking for. Alright, well, time for the big risk. 8 to 6, good luck. Alright, we pass, and I will seal that 0. Okay, this one died. Oop. Okay. I'm hoping that we can get a moment to breathe at this point. Enemy phase. Moves up. Move brood. You're staying in place. Alright, upkeep. Upkeep. Mythos. We advance. This will get discarded, I believe, first. No place to hide. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. If there's a set-aside Brood of Yogg-Sothoth, the investigator reads the following. Thankfully, there are no set-aside Brood of Yogg-Sothoth, so we're just going to shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Alright, Horrors Unleash. It was no joke tracking down something as big as a house that one could not see, but that had all the vicious malevolence of a daemon. Each abomination enemy gets +1 fight, +1 evade, 7 doom to advance. Good luck. Sorted in silence. I am going to ward that. You guys can eat a deck on that one. Alright. So they have +1 evade now. Okay, investigation phase. I'm going to start with Agatha. I'm going to evade first, and I will commit a Professor Warren Rice. And then resolve this seal token. Okay, so that's going to put us at 4 to 4, because these now have +1 evade. And so he's now going to stay evaded. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and spin 2 to do Dark Pact. Do 2 damage to you. And then last action, I'm going to punch the thing. We are currently 8. Oh, I haven't even done the lightning bolt yet. I'll do the lightning bolt now. Here, I have 2 clues, 2 of my clues. Alright. I am 8 to 7. As a lightning bolt, I will go ahead and exhaust this and discard this unconventional method to put an evidence on this, or sorry, an inspiration on this. All right, 7 to 8, or 7, or sorry, 8 to 7. We pass. I'll seal that +1. Putting a damage here. Okay, and then Zoe. I'm going to go ahead and commit a something worth fighting for. We're going to go 9 to 7. Okay. We're going to go ahead and commit a steadfast. Let's see, that's 15. Yeah, they'll be 11 to 7. And that is enough. I'll do the 3rd damage, which will kill this. And we advance. So yeah, that's why I had to kind of hesitate a bit, because I had to get rid of the Dark Pact before I cleared everything off. Hopefully I didn't make too many mistakes. If I did, I apologize, but honestly, this thing's just a headache. It's the same issues as I've always complained about. The traps required way too much to actually work out. We were actually pretty lucky on a lot of this. These things actually stayed relatively stationary and actually moved to where we needed them to move. Getting that one treachery that forced them to come to us was also very helpful. The -1 willpower location is honestly a headache. Obviously, there's just too much randomness. Obviously, this is very easy, very cheesable with Mystic cards. String of Curses can kill it. Waylay, I believe, can kill it. The new Whispers of Doom could kill it. But obviously, for this playthrough, we didn't bring those cards. And you can see it takes quite a bit of effort. It's also kind of RNG whether or not you can get all 5 of them, if you have all 5 of them, because the only way to get the 5th one is if you drew that one particular treachery, the creature's tracks, for example. I believe in previous runs we never actually drew it. In this run, we drew practically all of them, so it is what it is. All right, well, we advance. The brood is ended. As you complete the incantation, the foul creature cries out with a raucous, inhuman voice. It rumbles and cracks, the syllables of its croaking far from English. As its cry plays out, the creature shrinks upon itself, and then, with little warning, it is gone. All that remains is a foul stench and a repulsive mark that mars the vegetation where the beast once stood. Resolution 2. Congratulations. All right. After slaying what seems to be the last of the rampaging monsters, you retreat to Zevlon's home, exhausted and rattled by your experience. No brood escaped. All right, we get to remove the Powder of Ibgazi and Esoteric Formula. Kleptomania is actually pretty painful, but thankfully you have a lot of ways to soak, which is helpful. And it's also nice that you can put Spectral Shield on other people. Each Investigator earns Victory X, so we get 5 XP. Zoe will get 6 because of the great work. And we're in good shape now. Yeah, attached to a player card with, yeah, it doesn't have to be yours. Okay, I'll be right back and I'll spend XP. Okay, 6 XP on Zoe. I'm going to spend 1 to upgrade my remaining 45 automatic to its level 2 version. And then I had 3 boxes left in Quicksilver Bullet, so I'm going to spend 2 XP to go ahead and get those filled in. And I'll take care of my Down the Rabbit Hole, that's 3 XP. I'm going to go ahead and bank the remaining 3. At this point, I have pretty much everything upgraded I really care to upgrade. I mean, there's Brannick Thugus I can upgrade, which is also what I'm kind of going to save these for, because I can only do Down the Rabbit Hole twice every time. But if I happen to get a lot of XP for the next one, I could also possibly try to get some non-upgrade cards and go from there. Unfortunately, we haven't really had too many opportunities to play with custom modifications. I think we played with a little bit last scenario, and that's about it. Unfortunately for this one, obviously there's a few enemies we can play around with for the guns, but it's mostly about the broods, and unfortunately guns don't work on broods. So it is what it is. Okay. So 32 cards in there. Good to go on this. Okay. Over here, I'm just going to upgrade my remaining fingerprint kit to level 4. We did actually manage to use our regular fingerprint kit this time around. It was a shame it wasn't our level 4 version, because that would have sped things up a little bit. Biggest weakness for Agatha is just the deck size. Obviously, I did stuff her full of a bunch of the story cards, but even without that, it feels like I kind of have to work with whatever I start with and kind of expand from there. But like I said, it's still a lot of fun, so it's not too bad. in harder campaigns or harder difficulties, I can kind of see she might have some issues simply because you have to also find ways to get her number to go a little bit bigger. But we'll see. Anyway, that was 3 XP, I believe. Let me verify. Yeah, 3 XP. So I'll leave her 2. I'll just bank the remaining. Okie dokie. Her weakness, Dark Pack, isn't really too big of a deal. We literally have only one scenario left out where it will actually matter. So we can kind of work from there. All right. We'll be getting -3s in the future, but other than that, should be good to go. I probably did make a mistake in this one. I usually do. So feel free to point it out in the comments. By the time you guys see this, I'll be well into some other campaign. But for anyone that's watching and may actually look at the comments, it'll at least inform them if anything I screwed up on anything. Anyway, I am the Depressed Viewer. This was Arkham Horror the card game, Dunwitch Legacy, with Zoe Samaras and Agatha Crane. We just finished Undimensioned and Unseen. We'll be doing Where Doom Awaits next time.